Hello, naked midget. Naked midget.
Naked midget?
Hello? Yes.
Really?
Hello? Yes.
All right, so
yeah.
Anything you say can and will be held against you.
I can deal with that.
As usual.
This is the AT Banter podcast, a balanced and entertaining look at assistive technology, accessibility, and its importance in people's lives. Join Rob Minot, Ryan Fleury, and Steve Barclay as they banter with people around the world about anything and everything regarding assistive technology and the disability community. Now, on with the show.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of AT Banter.
Banter, banter.
Banter, banter.
Banter, banter.
Wow, so many banters in the room.
That's bantering.
I am Rob Minot, and today joined by Mr. Steve Barclay,
Howdy.
Mr. Ryan Fleury,
Hello.
and we have a special guest in the Guitar Dungeon today.
All the way from...
Southern California. Sunny Southern California
Southern.
with no rain.
For mud.
Just mudslides.
We have Mr. Jon Dibble, who's on loan from us.
The Dibblemeister.
From Enhanced Vision.
Dibbleman.
That's me. That's what I go by.
Yeah, what the heck do you do over there at Enhanced Vision?
I often ask myself that every day when I'm there. But actually, I'm the Chief Territory Manager for all the international sales that come through Enhanced Vision. I handle all the international accounts, all the distributors, our European offices, and amongst many other things. I deal with product development. I deal with marketing ideas. I deal with campaigns. I even dip my toe into quality matters and then new ideas and new products and so forth. So kind of do a lot of it.
You're busy.
Yeah, I'm busy a lot.
Now,
But it's good.
For the people who are out there under a rock, tell us a little bit about what Enhanced Vision does and what kind of products they manufacture.
Yeah, we manufacture electronic video-based magnification products, handheld devices you can wear on your head like our Jordy product, desktop CCTVs, all video magnification products. We don't do any kind of braille. We don't do any optical, any surgical. It's all electronic magnification. That's what we do. And we've been doing that for now over 20 years now, since about 96. And, we have quite a diverse line of products between our portables and our headboards and our computer-compatible products. We have probably the most diverse product line on the market today when it comes to video magnifiers.
Now, how long have you guys been around?
Since '96 is when we came onto the scene. We had one head-worn magnifier called the VMAX, which was basically the size. It's like a Jordy, but the size of a helmet. And then we had a mouse magnifier called Max, which was not a computer, but a magnifier you would plug in a composite video into a TV, so people could place that over a text, enlarge it, change contrast, change magnification, and use it as a reading aid.
That one's still around.
It's still around, actually. Yeah. And we do sell them. We don't sell a ton of them, but for people that don't have a lot of money, I mean, it's a product that's pretty cheap. And, people that have a difficult time transitioning from, optical or going into video-based magnifiers, spending more money, it's a good kind of transition tool for that.
The Max, does it still output composite, or is it
Yeah,
upgraded?
it's really an unchanged product.
Really?
Composite video, yes.
Wow.
Sorry, I had to take a sip of beer there.
Never be sorry about taking a sip of beer.
That's right.
Around here.
Yes.
For our audience, things will degrade.
We love beer.
The audience knows.
So it's quite a history at the company. I've been with them almost since the beginning. I'm over 18 years now with them. And just seeing the evolution of the product line, the development of the camera systems, improvements, and the features and so forth is quite extraordinary.
So the next step's going to be AI.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it's a real challenge for our kind of company to continue, rapid growth. From the standpoint that there's a lot of other technologies out there that some people use, on their phone or tablets and free stuff on the internet and things like that. Even the treatments for macular degeneration have gotten better as to where a patient may need a video magnifier, but they may not need one for several years from now. So the market's really changing, and it's up to a company like us to kind of adapt to that and come up with new ideas and new innovations in order to continue growing.
That was kind of one of my questions that I was going to have for you was having been there for so long, what kind of advances have you really seen in terms of what these magnifiers can do and the footprint that they can have in a home?
Yeah, everything is getting smaller, and all the technology is getting better. Cameras are improving, from just in the past several years, from 480 standard definition to 720p HD, 1080p. Now there's probably be 4K, and all this, the camera technology is rapidly improving. A big trend right now in the market is wearables. Heads-up displays, to where you have cameras mounted in front of almost like virtual reality type of displays. There are more players in the market now than ever, and but there's a lot of big push. The thought process is that, hey, this virtual reality type of camera AI is going to replace your desktop video magnifier, and everybody's going to be wearing something. It's really not the reality, maybe for young people, but not for elderly people. But the market is still there, and the biggest challenge for a company like ours, and I've said this ever since day one, is just a matter of being able to find these people out there that need this kind of technology. Awareness is horrible. We go to the ophthalmologist every year, big shows, try to convince them to refer their patients to us, and most of them, frankly, do not. They send the patient home with a "nothing more I can do for you" statement, and that's just simply wrong. And with our company out here, as well as a lot of the competitors, if we can get to that patient and show them a product, then we might be able to help them. And I haven't seen an improvement in awareness over the 18 years that I've been there. And it's just, it's on one hand, it's kind of sad, but it's a reality that we just have to deal with.
Well, and that's interesting because that's exactly, our experience as well. Awareness is really hard. These devices, a lot of times, nobody wants to really know about them until the day that they need them.
Yeah, and I think a big piece of that as well is that when somebody walks out of that ophthalmologist's office, they're grieving. They've lost
they're
something
depressed.
that was important to them. They're depressed. I think you guys you just did a show on mental health and disability.
That's right.
And they talked about the grieving process, and they've got to get through that. They've got to get to that point of maybe they don't have to get all the way to acceptance, but it sure helps. But until they hit that point where they recognize that their life isn't over, that there are things that they can do, there are aids that are out there for them, they're not ready to even consider it.
But it does seem surprising that the ophthalmologists and optometrists are so slow to get on board. You'd think that this is something that they'd be happy to hand off.
You would think so, and there's a lot of doctors that are willing to refer and tell patients about this type of technology, but there's also a trust issue. We walk in the door, they're like, "This is my patient. Who are you?" And it's really a matter of being able to have the right value message to ophthalmologists, convince them that, hey, this is a technology that really works for this patient. When you can do all you can possibly to help them surgically, but if you can't and they're still 2200 or worse in their better eye, then why not at least give them a chance? And we make it easy for them. I mean, we do in-office evaluations for them. We'll go do whatever they want, and it's just ophthalmologists in general, I think they're just pretty darn busy, at least in the American, the U.S. market. It's it's a lot of times you have maybe 10 minutes with a doctor and then on to the next patient, and we're not necessarily on the mindset of ophthalmologists who are just too busy to I guess remember us, but there's a lot of good ones that do. And what we have to do as an organization, and as we have with our distributors, is to be more visible with these ophthalmologists and make more of these relationships on an ongoing basis, not just visit them every 3-6 months, because forget about it, they'll forget about you. But if you're there often, a lot of our distributors have made a very good relationships with ophthalmologists, and who have turned into doctors who are now referring a lot of patients, and we're helping them out, which is good.
Well, and I think too that, it's not an ophthalmologist's, job to make sure their patient has a high quality of life, but they're still doing everything they can surgically to get them to a certain point. I don't know how many times in the past we've had clients come in and look at a CCTV and, they can do their jigsaw puzzles again.
Yeah.
Or they can do their makeup on their own again. Just that quality of life, that independence is such a treasure to a lot of people.
Yeah. I believe it is the ophthalmologist's fiduciary responsibility to do everything and exhaust every option possible to help that visually impaired patient. And if they can't help them if they can't help them surgically, they must should they must seek out other options that may be helpful to that patient.
Right.
Whether it's sending them to an organization such as the Braille, CNAB, whatever organization you have that can assist people, connecting them with other resources, or connecting them with companies that deal with technology, because this stuff really works. I don't have to point you to the internet and type in low vision on a YouTube video and somebody crying and seeing their kid's face for the first time, in 10 years when their ophthalmologist couldn't fix that problem. So it really, I'm passionate about it. It actually makes me pissed off when, I hear doctors who just don't, want to go take that additional step. So,
Well, especially since this technology isn't cutting edge. I mean, electronic magnifying systems have been around, since
the 70s.
35 years.
Oh yeah,
no longer.
Since the late 70s.
Yeah.
Yet there, it always
almost 50 years.
It always stuns me when somebody just
has never heard of it. Didn't even know something like that exists.
Mm-hmm. It's just the issue is that this industry is not big enough. I mean, enhanced vision, VFO, Optelec, Freedom Scientific, whatever combined is not even 1/100th of a percent the size of a Microsoft engine or so forth, like that. So we just don't have the ability to invest millions and millions of dollars into awareness and marketing and so forth like that. If we did, we could have there'd be a big game changer. If the government could help, our industry in getting the word out, that would help immensely, but unfortunately it's not the reality.
So it seems to me that, in the last few years, one of the big leaps forward was the development of LCD monitors over CRT.
Yeah, the big tube guys.
That had a huge impact with you guys. I mean, because I remember,
sure,
us shipping 19-inch, CRT Merlins, for example.
Oh yeah,
75-pound boxes.
A lot fewer people are developing hernias now.
Yeah, you have 52-pound, 20-inch monitors that forget about walking on the ice. Oh my God, what a nightmare.
So with the advent of LCD technology, it allowed you to obviously reduce the amount of the size of the unit so that it didn't take up as much space, but it also allowed you to have bigger screens.
Yeah, absolutely, and those screens are much brighter too than the older CRTs as well, and you have which didn't exist before, is you have monitor position flexibility. So these monitors are mounted on an arm. You can raise, lower them, tilt them, move them off to the side. For somebody with macular, you can position it in such a way where it's better set up for their eccentric viewing. And with CRTs, you just it's either on top or the side, and that was it.
That's right.
So I think that was a nice improvement. So the technology improvement's definitely there. Especially with the cameras and the integrated XY tables, all the different modes, the color image quality, clarity, that's all very, very good. And I think that systems have gotten easier to use over the years as well. But at the end of the day, it's just a matter of actually getting out there and finding those people that need it and showing it to them, because chances are it'll help them, and chances are they might get it. Yeah.
Now, one other thing recently too that you've started building into a lot of the devices is OCR.
Oh yeah, OCR is just it's kind of the within the last 5 years has really come on the scene as a real powerhouse feature. People who use a video magnifier often for extended periods of time, their eyes get a little tired, and they want something that will have the convenience of reading to them. And so that's just an option that the market is asking for. So we're incorporating that into a lot of our different products. whether it be the desktop units or the transportable units, computer compatible units, and it's a nice option to have. Again, for somebody that wishes to, not have to physically read and look at the material all the time. They can actually have it read to them. So that's a positive thing. It has added some additional complexity to the product, so not everybody wants it. Some people just want to have something simple and read their mail and read their magazine, and that's fine too. But the good thing, at least about Enhanced Vision, is at least on the video magnifier side, is we've kind of got it all. From portable to desktop to OCR to computer compatible. You name it, we kind of have it all covered.
One product that is kind of interesting, especially given the popularity of wearables these days, is the Jordy.
Right.
And now the one that I'm talking about though is the Jordy that was originally released
August of '99. Yeah.
August of 90, really?
1999, the first one. Yeah, when I came aboard with the company.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
Jordy version 1.
So I'm kind of fascinated with that product because it really seems to me that it was kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah, at the time it was, because nobody was really looking at that segment of the market. Enhanced Vision was. And only up until about the last 3 or 4 years have people really gotten into the wearable devices for low vision. As we have seen, technologically speaking, a lot of the gaming technology, virtual reality technology, this heads-up technology, Google Glass, the list goes on and on and on. And people thought, hey, we can merge some of this technology into something that'll help somebody, that's blind or visually impaired, and which is good, I think, for humanity. That's a good thing. And obviously it's our obligation to continue a product in that category, and we've done so with the introduction of the latest Jordy, which is kind of similar in design to the Jordy we had about 10 years back, similar in weight, but a much more improved camera resolution and more features and so forth like that. So it's we just introduced it not too long ago, but so far so good.
It is a sexy beast.
Yes, just like you.
Just like you, man.
Sexy beast.
Feel the love.
Yeah. Our strategy, though, is a little different in the market when it comes to wearables in Jordy, for a couple reasons. One is that, there's an old phrase, the KISS philosophy, which is to keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And so we believe in that philosophy. We believe in also making products for the mass market, which is, not just for a niche 10% of certain types of clientele. And, we want to make our products easy to use and easy to work with. And the only unfortunate part is there's products that are similar, maybe a little lighter than ours, but they don't, they put a lot of technology in it, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi streaming, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, getting a 70-year-old lady to figure out how to Wi-Fi stream into her goggles. It's just never going to happen. A 20-year-old, yeah, probably. But again, that's suitable for a minority of the market. So we want to make that product for, an 80-year-old person. We want to make it for a 20-year-old person. But what's more important is that one of the big things we believe in is image quality and clarity and just the cameras that we use are really the best on the market in all the wearables, because there's a lot of camera technology out there, in lighter head-worn units, but they're miniaturized megapixel type of cameras. They don't have the image quality. You can't see as far. They have delay. They're grainy. They just don't have the capability of a nice block camera that you can see far away, autofocus, clarity, and so image quality is important. We're dealing with the visually impaired, so why not give them the best image quality possible?
So is that something that is just continuing to improve, is the cameras themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. And the displays actually in it. You see a continual evolution in development, because again, the camera quality that we use today may have been available 5 years ago, but it was much, much larger in form factor. So you'd have this big, brick on your face if you tried to, do it several years ago. Now you don't. It's a lot more smaller and better. Companies like Sony, are always pushing and developing their autofocus and camera qualities and so forth, miniaturization and so forth. And that's definitely a trend that we're seeing. We don't see that much of that in the real small form factor cameras. And I'm talking like cell phone cameras, that type of size. They just don't have the zooming capability, autofocus capability, when you move materials underneath it, you want to see it to where there's no delay and so forth like that. That's still got a long way to go. But when it comes, we'll definitely be in that market as well.
So is the Jordy, is that the main product that's a wearable that you guys are developing right now or have developed?
Yeah, we're also looking at lighter, smaller versions of the Jordy as we speak. The other one that's really kind of not really a wearable, but it's the Mojo product line, which is a handheld electronic monocular that you can hold up to one eye, and you can use that kind of like a Jordy, but as as in one hand and holding up to one eye. The philosophy behind that product is that currently on the market, people have to use, a lot of times for distance, they use an optical monocular telescope. It's a piece of glass, great optics as far as clarity goes, and runs a few $100, maybe $200 or for the top end ones. And they use that to spot things in the distance telescopically. And but there's challenges that come with that kind of product because they have a very narrow field of view. You have to manually focus them. They don't have brightness or contrast or anything like that. So what we're trying to do with a product like what we call Mojo is we're bringing to the world a whole new category of electronic-based product. And this is the concept is in line with an optical magnifier, a telescopic magnifier. However, it's an autofocus product. It has adjustable mode and contrast and brightness and so forth, all of which don't exist in the optical telescopic products, or even the spectacle mounted ones, which usually only work for a certain fixed focal distance. But the biggest thing is that people often struggle with optical telescopes with the field of view, very, very narrow. So it's like looking through a paper towel holder or something. And with a product like Mojo, we're looking at a 30-degree field of view, so we give the person a lot more visual information, a lot more maneuverability when they're actually looking at materials. I think the camera technology in that form factor, because it's very small, could be developed better and further, as more new technology comes out. So we're kind of seeing some improvements there and looking at some improvements in that category as well. So we're all about creating products too for areas of the market that there's nothing else that exists there, and Mojo is one of them. And so as we see more opportunities in other areas, we'll create products to fill holes in our portfolio and offer new options for people out there that want to look at different things. I think there's a lot of great ideas and technology that's being developed in the whole AI platform, and Microsoft has this AI app on their phone for OCR. It works great, actually, really nice. And obviously, got to use a cell phone to use it, so we got to deal with that, internet and service and so forth like that. But as that's developing, it's giving us ideas as to how we could bring some of those elements in that technology, partner with some of these organizations to bring more value and more features to the products that we offer. We started that pretty much with OCR, and just to make things more attractive to people out there, and products that are more versatile for different type of applications. Or Transformer product is one of them, which is kind of unique. Well, not really unique in what it can do, but the fact that it has such multi-system compatibility, where you have a camera system you can use if you're visually impaired. It's portable, it's transportable, it's battery operated. You can plug it into a laptop. It works with a Mac, a Microsoft laptop. It works with an iPad, an Android tablet, HDMI platform. It's kind of nice to have something that's so widely compatible with different types of systems that people might already use in the market. So that's kind of a nice thing that we're doing right now too.
So do you find that it's a bit of a challenge, because I think what you're saying is that when you're designing a product, you really have to have the picture of a typical user in your head.
You need to look at the needs of the market and find out, okay, what are we missing? What's not being addressed in the market, or what's the trend, and what's what can we do different, versus what we've done in the past. It's not an easy process, but and some things we create, maybe don't do that well, and but some things we do make, are a home run, and so yeah, it's really about, as Steve said, filling our holes, and and just looking at the market and listening to the market, saying what's needed, what should we do as a company. We talk a lot to people in the market, saying, what can Enhanced Vision do better, what can we do different, what can we improve, what would you like to see done. Some things we can do, some things we can't, but nevertheless, it's good dialogue to give us ideas as to developing other things.
So, like, for example, when you sit down and say, like, design to say a Merlin, was that sort of designed with the knowledge that, probably a large percentage of the users are going to be seniors.
Yeah.
So we need to keep the design simpler than, say, something else that where there might be.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely, because you got to look at your target customer. Who's the majority of people that are visually impaired? What is their age group? What exists already in the market? And, keeping it simple and especially for people that are really elderly, Merlin's a home run. You don't need to necessarily have all these additional features, that will never be used, put into not to say that they may be important for some people, but again, we go back to the mass market. We don't want to overcomplicate our products and make people scared of using them, run away. We want to make our experience easy when they come to the product. Everything's ergonomic. Buttons have a different shape, a different contour. They're contrasted on the unit. You could find them easily. They're easy to operate. They're easy to push. They're easy to control. So that's a big deal. A big deal.
Does it ever frustrate you guys, like, to think that, we could stuff all these great features into a product,
Yeah.
but then it would just overcomplicate it and not be necessarily right for the demographic that we're going to
Well,
hit?
I kind of have a different approach where if I need additional features in the product, where maybe I have an important bid or situation overseas where this bid is going to buy, a couple hundred units, but they need this feature. Okay, well, we'll put it in, but maybe we'll bury it in such a way where you can go into the menu and activate it if necessary. So somebody that comes to the machine, they still see it in the simple way. But yet, if they need that additional unique feature, they can just go in the menu and activate it, and then they got it.
Very sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky peeky. the thing to solve this market is really marketing, awareness, getting the docs to actually refer and tell every patient that walks in the door. Because if you think about it, with macular degeneration, where does every patient go? Every single one of them goes through an ophthalmologist. Every one.
Right.
And that ophthalmologist does well to help them surgically. Maybe they give them drops, they give them injections, they give them some sort of, some other aids or whatnot, and oftentimes it's unsuccessful. So if we can solve that piece of the puzzle, then a lot more people in the world would benefit.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems puzzling to me. It's like going to the doctor for a broken leg, and he puts your leg in a cast, but then he doesn't give you crutches, or even tell you that crutches exist,
or tell you that you may need rehab, and hey, go talk to this, and I don't know. Maybe it's a lot of the fact that there's no insurance, at least in the U.S. market. There's no insurance payment, no insurance coverage. Unless you're a veteran of the war or something like that, there's really no payment. It's all private pay, so there's really no insurance reimbursement for actually getting an aid to an end user. If that happened, maybe that would change the attitude a little bit, but. A lot of times, at least in our American system, when you look at these hospitals and, I go in to see the doctor and it's like, you're lucky if you got 10 minutes with a guy and then boom, you're out of there. And they have a lot of patients. So it's just, I guess it's, it's just hard to remember us, remember the industry in general. I'm not just talking about Enhanced Vision. I'm talking about any even of our competitors. And, but, we're chipping away a little there and, but a long way to go. No, I speak the truth from the reality of the market. I know this industry a lot better than anyone, and I know where the products are going, and it's just, awareness is a key. The people out there just sitting there and going, this sucks. Yeah. I need help. and you can get to them. You may not be able to help everyone, but with the fact that, I'm not talking just low vision stuff here. I'm talking about rehab. I'm talking about blindness. I'm talking about, all this progressive technology of, camera systems that project images and, into the retina and I mean, crazy stuff that's really cutting edge technology. This whole second sight technology that, man, it just really could be life changing for a lot of these people. And, again, it's just a matter of finding them.
Well, and I mean, is it an exciting time for the industry right now with all the baby boomers sort of aging into this equipment?
I don't know if I'd say exciting. I mean,
I guess exciting for.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because
go ahead.
it's changed, because at the same time as those baby boomers are getting up there, they're much more technologically savvy than the
Very
previous
true.
generation.
Yeah, very
so
true.
they're much more likely to use mainstream electronics
Yeah,
use features like magnification on those types of devices, and the surgical interventions are getting so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, treatments for macular degeneration are getting better, and not necessarily solving the person's vision problem, but halting the degeneration of their vision. Maybe before they would need a CCTV in a year from now, but now some of the treatments, which are great for humanity, they may not need a CCTV for 4 or 5 years. So that's a good thing, but by no means there is no miracle cure or solving, curing. A lot of these visual issues. There's a lot of treatments that halt further degeneration, but not necessarily a cure-all. And so those people are going to need help at some point. So, yeah. Chipping away.
Yep. Keep on plugging.
Keep on trucking.
Hang in there, kiddies.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fun.
How many more 70 memes can we come up with?
On one hand, it's frustrating the fact that we know we could we could do more. Yeah, sit on it. What are you, Fonzie? Yeah, Fonza. You're Fonza. It's frustrating on one hand where we know we could do more. Out there, but it's on the other hand, it's you take one step at a time, and this industry is really rewarding because when you give a product to someone and they can actually do a task or see something that they haven't seen for years and years, I mean, it just is great. It doesn't suck. We could all be in industries where we're out there selling widgets or whatever that nobody really cares about. And, to go out and I never talked to any grumpy customers. I never talked to people who are just hanging up on me on the phone. And, because when you really tell them what you're doing and trying to help them, and if you do help them, that's just awesome. So that I think is just a real rewarding part of being in the industry in general.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think we would all agree. I mean, that's why we're all sitting in Ryan's basement doing this. Is
dark
for that very
basement. Smells like Salisbury steak here. and feet. But it's okay. The beer smell is masked. It must be Ryan's feet.
Probably.
Yeah,
Let's hope so.
Probably.
Like cottage cheese feet.
Yeah, that lovely. Anyways, I heard your Vancouver Canucks really suck right now. Is that true?
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, the Flames are kicking ass.
Yeah.
Are they? They picked up again?
Well, last I heard they were
Is
in
that
fourth
Calgary
place.
team?
No,
Calgary.
really?
Yeah,
Nice.
they were
Good
up
for
in
them.
fourth. They were like won 9 straight, 10 straight or something.
Yeah.
They're on a roll.
Yeah, Boston's won like 12 out of 16, I think, the last little while.
Yeah, we're talking hockey here, Rob.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of another question. You guys go ahead.
I'm a baseball guy, so not much hockey, but I do like the Ducks, so I'm good with that.
The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, they're very close to where I live and work, so I used to go to games all the time in the past. But then when they had that big strike, I kind of switched over to baseball. But I might go to some games. It'd be fun. I haven't been one in a long time.
So, you guys sort of sell a lot. You there's a bit of a divide between the products. A lot of them are either portables that are designed sort of for people to take with them to be able to sort of use something if they're at the grocery store.
Yep.
And then there's the lines that are more designed for the home.
Yep.
And is sort of something that's...
And then the in-betweens. Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Is that sort of a divide that you guys are sort of purposely try to keep even? Like, are you like, well, we've got to have, a certain amount of portable solutions, but then we also have to have a lot of desktop solutions?
Well,
or
yeah,
does that just kind of come naturally?
It comes naturally, and we want to be able to. Well, we have to recognize the competition out there and stay competitive and offer solutions that they're offering, maybe or stay ahead of the curve, and the different types of products depending on different types of needs. If somebody just needs a magnifier, they're using an optical glass magnifier, they need to read their restaurant menu, or they have to just spot read some mail and stuff like that. We've got something for that. Somebody wants a portable device, they can read more of a book on a plane or something when they're traveling. We've got something like that. Then, of course, the home-based video magnifiers, which kind of dominate the sales in the general industry as well, because people like the big machines, big monitors, they can magnify, read their mail, look at their prescription bottle and so forth like that. We've got that. Then a lot of the in-between products, which are products that you can use for distance, for self-viewing, like a mirror, and then also for reading mail and so forth, and products that have OCR that are computer compatible. So it's just really about, and then we even have products that are just OCR reading devices only. And so it's just a matter, our product line has expanded, has tripled ever since I've been there. And it's just really to meet the needs of the market, because when you go into somebody and you start talking to them, you ask them what they want to do. What do they miss doing most? What do they need help with? And chances are, we'll have something that they can try, one or two products that they can try that will meet that need. 18 years ago, we may not have had that, but now we do. So that's kind of what we're doing. So one of the trends, though, that's unfortunate trends that's happening a lot in the portable market, the handheld, is there's a lot of infiltration from Chinese companies who are kind of flooding a lot of the market with these really cheap, inexpensive handheld magnifiers. And while on one hand they do magnify and you have different contrasts and so forth like that, they're so inexpensive that really the quality and the longevity is suspect in these kind of products.
Sure.
And it's unfortunate when if people don't recognize the value and the quality and the craftsmanship and the image quality and some of the products that maybe we manufacture in the portable line, and they just say they want to buy something cheap for a couple $100. Ultimately I think they'll be dissatisfied. But that's one of the little bit of the frustrations we have in the market right now, is that it's just the flooding of the cheaper Chinese portables. So.
Well, I mean, they'll be happy with it until it explodes in their pocket or sets their living room on fire. But
we don't want that. So, but yeah, it's really about expanding the product line, and offering as many choices as we can, and then just if somebody comes to us and they have this particular need, that particular want, that particular request, chances are we can solve it or satisfy that need. So, whereas 18 years ago we may have had something, just a limited line. Now we've got a lot more.
Now, I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to talk to us at all about sort of what's to come, because you want to keep that close to your chest. But
yeah, we got to be pretty confidential.
But
on some of the stuff
let me phrase it a different way then. Do you find that with technology sort of moving as fast as it is these days, do you find that there's a lot more that you guys are in the works and developing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, last year alone, we came out with 4 products. And for a company of our size to do that, between the Transformer and the Merlin Elite Pro full-page OCR desktop unit, our Jordy, and then the Mojo, electronic binocular is a pretty big feat. And we kind of have that mindset going forward. Whether it's upgrading existing technology, improving existing technology, coming out with something totally brand new. So yeah, there's more pressure. There's a lot more pressure, because there's a lot of technologies that people find on the internet, and whether it's apps or and iPads, and the accessibility programs and iPads and so forth like that have gotten a lot better, and they work really well. I mean, it's not the ideal product for someone that's visually impaired, but some people think hey, this is good enough, and we want to give them something that they can say, well, this is better. And so it's really up to us to move faster than we have ever before, because there's just so much more. There's more out there.
Can you share with us what your number one request from customers is?
I don't really have a direct answer for that.
No?
Because it's just so varied.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really not. I mean, really, people really appreciate the wearable technology.
Mm.
And the advent, the OCR that we've added in, but there's not really one specific. People always want something smaller and lighter, and have these bells and whistles, and within reason. We have to use what technology is available to us, and to get a Jordy with that kind of camera quality that we have, which is really the best out there right now, in the size of a 3-ounce pair of glasses, it's simply impossible. But what we're discovering is that as the camera technology improves, as the eye technology improves, and as far as like the virtual reality technology, it's really given us a lot of good ideas and ability to make things lighter and better, and people want that. So it's it's the direction we're moving in. But there's other things that we look at in our product line, and if there's gaps, and products we want to develop and so forth like that, maybe that are available from competitor A that maybe we should have, and and that's something we're definitely working on, and we'll probably have a few products this year that we'll be coming out with for sure. So
Looking forward to it.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Jordy just for a minute, because the new Jordy.
Sure.
It's been out for how long now?
We started shipping that product in late July of 2017. So August was really when it started to hit market. So August, September, October, November, December. So 6 months.
And how did you guys find the reception? Were people really excited about it?
Oh yeah, for sure. They've been begging for that product for years, because we had an absence of about 5+ years when the old Jordy ended and the new Jordy, and that was really because of certain prism that was used in the technology we had before. It just wasn't. We couldn't replicate it. It was provided to us from a very well-known company that went end of life on that component, and we just couldn't do anything about it. So it was kind of a forced end of life on the product, which was unfortunate. But no, people were excited and absolutely eager to get right on it, because I have people, before this new Jordy, people would call us, and they depend on their Jordy on a daily basis. They buy extras when they see them on the internet, on eBay, and they just are just. I mean, it's a real life-changing product. I've told this to many people, but the Jordy, when it works for somebody, definitely doesn't work for everybody. But when it does, it works for them in the most profound way that you can imagine, because it really is a new way of seeing, an entire new way of seeing it, and the reaction to that kind of product is much, much more powerful and stronger than you will ever see with any kind of portable or desktop unit or anything like that. When it's just an amazing thing.
So just in case anybody who's out there, maybe aren't familiar with what the Jordy actually is, just a elevator pitch what it is.
Yeah. The Jordy is basically a wearable video magnifier. So if you could imagine, you got a little power pack you kind of wear on your belt, and that's got controls to change the magnification, the contrast, zoom in, zoom out, and brightness, and all those kind of bells and whistles. And that's connected by a cable to a pair of glasses that you wear. And these glasses are not like glasses, a little like 2-ounce pair of glasses you buy it, and sunglasses and stuff like that. These are obviously bigger, and stop poking me. And basically what it is, it's a display that you wear, and it has 2 electronic displays, one in front of each eye, and then in the middle of that display, it juts out slightly in front of it, is a camera system, and that camera system is a 720p high definition camera system. And so if you can imagine, when you wear this, it's very similar to kind of virtual reality technology, but just imagine if you had a camera mounted to that where you could see things far distance. So you put this technology on, you turn it on, and you can look at an object, 100 feet away, and it will be captured by the camera, and the image is displayed right on the eyepieces right in front of your eyes in a magnified format, brighter display, kind of a widescreen type of format, so people can see detail. They can see objects. They can, I just had a video on Facebook on our Enhanced Vision page where a lady was wearing the product and she was never able to see her daughter's softball game. So she's sitting out there 50 yards or more away watching her daughter play outfield and softball and field the ball and stuff like that. She can never see that before. So captures the image through the camera, displays it on the goggles. Person sees the image, something they've never seen before. So pretty awesome.
So with the advent of a lot of the virtual reality systems that have been in the works for, the last 4 or 5 years, the Oculus Rift, that type of technology, I know it's really it's really dependent on the screens inside the glasses. Has the advancement of that type of technology impacted the development of the Jordy?
Well, it's helped it because the display technology is better than ever. A lot of times, though, with the virtual reality technology, those are mainly displays that are developed for people with normal vision that are gamers, you know, and it really super immersive. You have this big goggle system that basically immerses you into the image of the game and so forth like that. So that's but it's helped us from a display technology and idea standpoint and displays that have wider field of view and so forth like that. But those kind of products really they don't have the camera technology behind it like we would use in the Jordy.
Right.
So you can't none of the off the shelf heads up displays can be used for any kind of distance vision or anything like that, and they're not designed for the visually impaired. But we can take technology that's been developed there and borrow from it, use their kind of display technologies, adapt it to camera systems and go from there. We're not big believers in the full wraparound, gaming type of system glasses, just because it gets a little claustrophobic. You don't have any peripheral vision, and it gets it's
sure
for a partially sighted person, it's a bit overwhelming.
Sure.
And if you're trying to make it portable, it's probably a huge power draw too, right?
Yeah.
Because those types of systems are really designed to be plugged in.
They're designed to be plugged in. Yeah, it's no portable nature to them. Yeah. So, but it's good. It's a good development technology, and and then the the miniaturization of cameras and so forth like that. Cameras of today compared to 5 years ago are just so far ahead of what was available before. So more we can use from that segment. The smaller products can get, the easier, the lighter weight, the better image quality and so forth like that, which is key. With a visual impaired person, what are you after? You want to improve the vision that they have. Right. And can't do that with a crappy camera, but yeah, a great camera, you sure can.
So let me ask you this then. What is your flagship product at the moment? Like, what's sort of the mainstay of?
Well, yeah, the main talked about product right now is definitely Jordy. That's getting all the kind of buzz and interest and working for some people, not working for everybody. But what's good is that if somebody calls and is interested in the Jordy and they want to try it out, great, do it. If it doesn't work for them, we got something else for them. A lot of the industry, I would say the majority of sales or the majority of products that are supplied in this entire industry is your traditional desktop CCTV. Probably about 50% of all people that are visually impaired get a desktop CCTV.
Right.
So if you want to call a flagship product, just based upon sheer number of sales and popularity, it's that kind of just traditional boring desktop video magnifier.
Right.
But there's definitely a trend happening. Over the years, we've seen people into more transportable, portable things, multi-position camera type of systems, our Acrobat or DaVinci's great selling products for us. People want something that's a little more flexible. They want to watch TV, but also, do my makeup or look at my mail and stuff like that. So, but I'd say popularity right now is Jordy, and then, just as far as sales goes, for the industry, it's really more than just a desktop CCTV.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys going? Obviously, you guys will be at CSUN.
Yeah.
Are you giving any sort of big announcement there, or
No, none planned at this time because, again, we had the 4 products already last year. There are some things we were developing, but the timing probably won't be something to where we can, provide any kind of, big announcement or anything at CSUN. But
Sure.
But you never know, You never know. There's always stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, I've heard what goes on behind the scenes at CSUN. Trust me, Steve's told me.
Yeah.
So that's
dude, I haven't told you much.
Yeah.
only a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. Scary.
From your experience, and again, not getting into sort of what you guys maybe are developing, but do you see a trend that's coming that you can sort of point to and go, yeah, I could see things going that way?
I could definitely see a trend more towards wearables for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Providing they're good enough and easy enough to use and just have the right features and the right image clarity. Yeah, I can definitely see a trend there because it's all the rave right now. The Google glasses and Samsung developing this and all these heads up displays. That is 100% the trend. It's wearables. Head mounted displays. So I mean that's for sure the way things are going. But the one thing too, I guess what's good on our side is that, like with the advent of the Jordy, one thing we always, remember with that product, and one of the things that we have also developed with that product, which is actually kind of something unique to enhanced vision because we actually have a patent on it, is not only can you wear the product, but I think it's also important to have the product adaptable to another situation to where it makes it even easier to use. And what I mean by that is, with a product like the wearable Jordy, we have an accessory that you can buy along with it, which I think is, absolutely a great thing, is a docking stand. And what a docking stand is it allows you to wear the Jordy, and then if you get a little tired, looking at reading your mail or paying your bills or doing whatever, then you can actually remove the Jordy from, you don't have to wear it, and you could put it in a stand and use it just like a desktop CCTV. So you have that kind of 2-in-1 flexibility.
Right.
That I think is a real attractive thing. So we're addressing the wearable trend in the market, but then also, realizing, hey, they keep it simple. You can take this device and also make it like a CCTV. That whole 2-in-1 thing. So multi-purpose type of device, giving it that additional functionality to use it in different ways, I think is a real trend as well. Because people do they don't want to have 10 different devices around their house.
Right.
They have to use, but if you can get benefit out of the Jordy, especially for distance, and then you want to use it like our Merlin product or desktop CCTV as a home unit, you can do that also. So I think that's a real good thing. But wearables definitely the trend. And portables, I'm not so sure. We're finding a lot of people who are getting by with their cell phones and the magnification programs on that.
Right.
And not so much in the desktop CCTVs, a little bit here. There's improvements and so forth, and those are still great sellers for the entire market. But yeah, wearables, for sure.
Well, Mr. Dibble?
Yes.
I think on behalf of the AT Banter podcast, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us down
dropping
here
by,
in the Guitar
being our
Dungeon.
in-studio guest.
My pleasure.
Coming all the way from sunny California to join us.
That's right, man. Happy to be here.
Braving the rain, braving the snow.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
There's no
40
snow.
40 degrees. I can deal with that. Not bad. I was in Norway once. God, it was January of 2016, and my God, that place is the coldest place on the freaking planet.
Wow.
I was in Norway, and I was so layered up that it really felt like. I mean, it was actually. They said it was colder than the Arctic Circle.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. And these guys I'm with, great guys, company Nordic Eye, and they're just like, walk around, tour the side, and I'm just like, get me out of here, get me in a restaurant and near a fire. You guys are insane.
I think I'm going to go put my shorts on.
Yeah, that's right.
Holy crap!
Let's go skinny dipping in the lake.
These guys are just like human polar bears. But that was an experience of cold, which I'd rather not repeat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're lightweights here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're whiners and bitchers and moaners down in California because when it gets 50 degrees and we're like, oh, put on a jacket. Where's the heat? Yeah, we're a bunch of, whatever.
It's been sunny for 300 days in a row.
Yeah, no, I can't handle it. I don't know. My body's just programmed for the heat, not so much for the cold. I don't mind it, but it's getting used to it. But it's all right.
Well, you know what? Before we let you go, though, tell the fine people where they can find enhanced vision systems. Tell.
Sure.
Wow, that up.
No,
Okay, hold on.
no, you can figure it out. You wouldn't know where to go to find more information.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So Enhanced Vision is a company. We're based in Huntington Beach, California, Southern California. And we do have an office in Germany and just north of Frankfurt. We also have an office in the UK, in Nottingham, Robin Hood. And we also have our office or representative in Sweden. And so that's kind of the way where our organization is. Yeah. And if people want to get to us, they can simply call our main number. It's 1-800-440-9476, 800-440-9476, or just visit our website at www.enhanced. Don't forget the ed in there, enhancedvision.com. And you can get free information. If you're interested in acquiring, for a free demo, no obligation demo. We don't charge for those kind of things. And we want to just try some of this stuff. And you think you have a loved one or family member, or yourself is personally in need of something like that, check it out, because chances are we might have something that'll help you.
And I think if you're in Canada...
Well, if you're in Canada, you can contact Canadian Assistive Technologies.
Yes, 1-800-STEVE.
That doesn't quite work.
Oh, that doesn't. Sorry.
But 1-844-795-8324, that'll work.
Yeah, Steve has literally been in this industry longer than anybody I've known on the planet. 30 years or something like that. 27. Crazy amount. So we really love working with Steve and Canadian Assistive just because of his level of experience and just care for the market and the people out there. And so it's a good guy to work with.
Plus he buys you beer.
Yeah, he does. he taunts me with free beer. So yeah, how can you not like anybody that gives you free beer?
Oh, it's reciprocated.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan.
Rob.
Where can people find us?
Well, they can find us online at www.atbanter.com.
They can also email us if they so desire, atbanterpodcast@gmail.com.
And we're out there on the Facebooks and the Twitters, which, nobody pays attention to.
Facebook is at ATBanter, all one word, and Twitter is AT_banter.
There you go.
And yeah.
There you go.
Not to be mistaken for at POTUS.
No,
don't even get started on that. We'll be here for another half an hour.
Let's order dinner.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks to Mr. Jon Dibble for joining us. And we will see everybody next week.
Night.
Cowbell.
Cheers.
This podcast has been brought to you by Canadian Assistive Technology, providing low vision and blindness solutions across Canada. Find us online at www.canastech.com. That's CANASSTECH.com. Or call us toll free at 1-844-795-8324. For all your assistive technology servicing needs, call Chaos Technical Services at 778-847-6840 or find them online at chaostechnicalservices.com. Music provided by bensound.com.